My evil stepmother sent me into the forest of death to die. What found me there made her regret everything. In the village of Omo, life was hard, but for Zara, it was a nightmare. Zara was a girl with skin like dark cocoa and a heart as soft as a breeze. But her house was a place of shadows. After her father died, her stepmother Ekene took over. Ekene was a woman who could sour milk just by looking at it. She had a daughter of her own named Chika, who was as lazy as a falling log and twice as heavy with pride. Zara, wash the pot, Ekene would scream. Zara, go to the farm and dig up yams until your fingernails bleed. Zara did it all without a word. She was waiting for a miracle, but Ekene was waiting for Zara to disappear. One evening, the harmattan wind was blowing cold and dry. Ekene sat by the fire, watching Zara shiver in her rags. A wicked idea took roots in Ekene's mind, dark and twisted like a poisonous vine.
Zara, I have had a dream. The ancestors told me that your husband is waiting for you in the Ahiara forest. He is a great king with more gold than the sands of the sea. Go now, and do not return until you are a queen.
Chika laughed into her hand. Everyone in Umu knew that the Ahiara forest was cursed. People who went there didn't find kings, they found their ends.
But mother, it is dark. The spirits walk at this hour.
Are you calling the ancestors liars? Go, or I will burn those rags off your body and throw you out naked. Useless girl, just eating my food and getting fat. Come on, disappear into the forest. You can die for all I care.
Zara's hand shook, but something inside her, something small but growing, whispered, maybe death in the forest is better than dying slowly in this house. Zara walked into the forest. The moment she stepped past the first tree, the temperature dropped. Her breath came out in white clouds. The trees were so thick they blocked out the blood moon. Darkness swallowed her whole. She walked for what felt like hours. Then she saw them, bones. They lined the path like white flowers. Skulls grinned up at her from the depths. Rib cages hung from branches like forgotten laundry. She recognized a bracelet from one skeleton. It belonged to Adama, a girl from the village who had disappeared 3 years ago. A voice hissed from the darkness.
Turn back, little girl. This is where hope comes to die.
Zara's heart hammered against her ribs, but she kept walking because behind her was Ekene, and Ekene was worse than any spirit. She reached a clearing where the moonlight suddenly broke through, hitting a pile of white stones arranged in a cycle. There, sitting on the throne made of twisted vines, was a man. He was beautiful in a way that made you forget to breathe. His skin was the color of midnight, and his clothes were made of gold thread and black silk that seemed to move on its own. But his eyes, they were amber. They glowed like two small suns burning in the darkness.
I am Odum. I have been waiting 100 years for a woman brave enough to walk through death to find me. Are you that woman?
I am just a girl who was sent away to die.
Odum stood up. He moved too fast for a human. One moment on the throne and the next right in front of her. He leaned down and sniffed her neck, his breath hot against her skin.
You smell of wood smoke and tears. You smell real. If you can stay with me for 7 days and 7 nights and never ask to leave out of fear or ask questions, you shall be my queen. You will have gold, power, and a palace that puts the sun to shame.
And if I fail?
Then you join my collection. Most women don't make it past the first night.
Zara thought of Ekene's cruel aunts, Chika's mocking laughter, the cold floor where she slept. I will stay. Brave, Odum.
Brave or foolish?
We
shall see which.
We shall see which. He clapped his hands once. The forest melted away like smoke. In its place stood a palace that seemed built from moonlight and nightmares. Inside, everything was beautiful and wrong. The furniture was made of wood that still had bark and leaves growing on it. The mirrors showed reflections that moved a second too slow. This is your room, Odum said, opening a door to a chamber filled with silk and velvet. A bed sat in the center, so large and soft it looked like a cloud had fallen from the sky.
Sleep well, my bride. The first test begins at midnight.
He left. The door closed behind him with a sound like a coffin lid. Zara sat on the bed. It was the softest thing she had ever felt. For the first time in years, she wanted to cry. not from fear, but from the strange mercy of comfort. Then she heard it. Step. Something heavy was pacing outside her door. The first night, at midnight, a bell rang. The sound was so deep it made Zara's bone vibrate. Her door opened by itself. A voice, Odum's voice, but coming from everywhere and nowhere, said,
Come to dinner, my bride.
She walked down a hallway lit by candles that burned with blue flames. The walls seemed to breathe. The dining hall was enormous. A table stretched the length of the room, covered with food, roasted meat, fresh fruits, rice that steamed and smelled of coconuts, soups thick with fish and spices. Odum sat at the head of the table in his human form.
Eat, you must be starving.
Zara was starving. She hadn't eaten a full meal in weeks. But she noticed something. Odum's plate was empty, and when the servants brought him food, shadowy figures with no faces, he waved them away. Zara ate. The food was the most delicious thing she had ever tasted. But as she ate, she noticed the servants watching her. Their heads tilted at wrong angles. Their movements were too smooth, too boneless. Then she saw one servant's shadow. It wasn't human-shaped. It was the shadow of something with 4 legs and a long tail. After
Good night,
dinner,
my bride.
Odum stood. Good night, my bride. That night, Zara put the blanket over her head and prayed to her dead father. Shout out time. Hey lovelies, today's big shout out goes to Zachariah from Kenya, Charity from Nigeria, Karendian from Zambia, KK from Dubai, Janiki from Ghana. I see you, I appreciate you 100%. If you want a shout out in my next video, drop your nickname and location in the comments, most especially YouTube comments. Lots of love from me to you all. Mwah. The second night, everything changed.
Tonight, you must fetch water from the river for tomorrow's bath. Take this calabash.
There is a river here.
In the forest behind the palace. But you must go alone, and you must not look at your reflection in the water.
Zara walked into the forest with a single touch. The river appeared suddenly, cutting through the darkness like a silver wound. The water was black and still, too still. Zara knelt carefully, keeping her eyes down. She dipped the calabash into the water. That's when she heard them, voices rising from the water like bubbles. Help me, please help me. I am so cold. It's so cold down here. Zara, is that you? It's me, Adama. He drowned me. He will drown you too. Zara's hand shook. The voices were desperate, clawing at her mind. She wanted to look to see if Adama was really there, trapped under the water. But she remembered, do not look at your reflection. I cannot help you, Zara whispered. I am sorry, but I cannot look. The voices turned angry. Selfish girl, cruel girl, look at us, look! The water began to bubble and shone. Hands, pale and bloated, reached up from the depths, grasping at her. Zara filled the calabash quickly, keeping her eyes on the forest, never on the water. She ran back to the palace, her heart pounding so hard she thought it would crack her ribs. Odum was waiting at the door. He took the calabash and smiled.
Very good, my bride. You are stronger than the others.
On the third day, Zara found a room she hadn't seen before. The door was ajar, calling to her. Inside was a mirror, but this mirror didn't show her reflection. It showed her village. She saw Ekene and Chika laughing and eating yams roasted in palm oil, Zara's favorite, which she was never allowed to have.
She's dead by now, eaten by leopards or worse. Good riddance.
Mother, can I have a sleeping mat? Mine has a hole.
Burn it. I don't want anything of hers polluting this house.
Zara's eyes filled with tears. She had known they hated her, but saying it, hearing it, the image faded. Zara turned to leave and found Odum standing in the doorway. His face was unreadable. You found the mirror of truth, he said quietly. Most women spend hours weeping in front of it, or they fill with rage and try to use my power for revenge. But you just wiped your tears and walked away. Hate is heavy, Zara said. I am tired of carrying heavy things. Something flickered in Odum's eyes, something almost like surprise. The fourth morning, when Zara entered the dining hall, she froze. Sitting at the table was not a man, it was a leopard. massive. Zara's breath caught. Every instinct screamed at her to run, but she had nowhere to run to. The leopard spoke. His mouth didn't move, but his voice filled her head. You have seen me now. The others always screamed. They always ran. Are you going to run, little bride? Zara's legs shook, but she walked slowly to the table. Her hands trembled as she pulled out her share. She sat down across from the great leopard, her heart hammering so hard she could hear it in her ears. Good morning, my king, she said, her voice barely a whisper. Did you sleep well? The leopard stared at her for a long, terrible moment. Then he threw his back, laughed. The sand was huge and white, like thunder rolling across the sky. In a shimmer of gold light, the leopard became a man again. Odum stood right there, grinning wider than she had ever seen. You have the soul of a queen, he said. You truly do. On the 5th evening, Odum's face was grave. Tonight you must feed me, he said. He led her to a room she hadn't seen before. Inside was a cage, and in the cage was a man, thin, terrified, covered in bruises.
Please, please help me. I was taken from my village. I have a wife, children. Please.
Odum handed Zara a knife. The blade gleamed in the torchlight.
I need blood to maintain my power. You must kill him and bring me his heart. This is what my queens do.
His voice flat, empty of emotion.
This is the price of power.
Zara looked at the knife, at the man, at Odum.
No,
No?
I will not kill an innocent man.
If that is the price of being queen, I do not want it.
You would rather die?
I would rather die clean than live covered in innocent blood.
Thank you. Thank you.
Odum stared at Zara for a long moment. Then he smiled, a real smile, warm and genuine. He snapped his fingers. The cage disappeared. The man disappeared.
He was never real. Just a test. Every other woman, all 99 of them, they cut him open. They cut him open without hesitation when I promised them gold and diamonds and power. You are the first to refuse. The first to choose mercy over power. 2 more days, Zara. Just 2 more.
The 6th night, Zara woke in the middle of the night to find her mother sitting at the foot of her bed. Not her stepmother, her real mother, who had died when Zara was 7. My daughter, her mother said, smiling with the same gentle smile Zara remembered. I have missed you so much. Zara's eyes filled with tears. Mama, you have suffered so much, my child. Come with me. Let me take you to the land of the ancestors. No more pain, no more fear, just peace. Her mother held out her hand and Zara wanted, how she wanted to take it. But something was wrong. Her mother's eyes, they weren't quite right. They were amber at the edge, glowing faintly in the darkness. You are not my mother, Zara whispered. The figure smiled, widened too far, showing too many teeth. Clever girl, it said in Odum's voice. Then it melted into shadows and was gone. In the morning, Odum looked exhausted. There were dark circles under his eyes. You passed, he said quietly. One more day, Zara. Tomorrow night, you will learn the truth of what I am and why I need a queen. And then you will make your final choice. On the 7th day, Odum told her his story. I was born prince of a great kingdom, he said, but I was arrogant, cruel. I took what I wanted and crushed anyone who opposed me. 100 years ago in Hazuwa kingdom, Prince Odum was beautiful, everyone said so. His skin was smooth as polished ebony. His muscles were carved like a sculptor's masterpiece. His smile could make women forget their own names, but his heart was rotten. He was the only son of the great king of Hazuwa, and he knew it. That knowledge sat in his chest like a crown made of thorns, heavy, sharp, and impossible to ignore. Move, he shouted, riding his horse through the market square. People scattered like chickens. An old man with a basket of yams stumbled and fell. Odum rode right over the spilled yams, crushing them into the dirt, laughing as he went. It was a hot afternoon when it happened. Odum was walking through the temple grounds with his guards. That's when he saw the boy. The boy was maybe 16, thin and dark, wearing the simple white clothes of a temple servant. He was sweeping the steps, but when Odum passed, the boy looked up, just looked, not with fear, not with worship, just looked. Like Odum was just another person. Why? Something hot and angry fled in Odum's chest. How dare this nobody, this servant, look at him like he was ordinary? You, Odum said, his voice sharp as a blade. What is your name? The boy blinked, confused. Me, my prince? Yes, you. Did I stutter? What is your name? Ebuka, my prince. The boy bowed his head quickly, sensing danger too late. Ebuka, Odum repeated slowly. He walked closer. His guards followed, their hands on their spears. Do you know who I am? Yes, my prince. You are Prince Odum, son of the great king. And yet you looked at me, directly at me, like we were equals. Ebuka's eyes widened with fear. I meant no disrespect, my prince. I was only what? Only forgetting your place? Odum grabbed the boy by his clothes, pulling him. Do you know what happens to people who forget their place? Please, Ebuka whispered. I have a mother. She needs me. Please. Odum saw the fear in the boy's eyes. He felt the trembling in the thin body, and something inside him, something dark and hungry, enjoyed it. Your mother, Odum said thoughtfully, should have taught you better manners. He drew his knife. My prince, no, one of his guards said, stepping forward. He's just a boy, a temple servant. Killing him here. Are you telling me what to do? Odum turned his cold gaze on the guard. The guard stepped back quickly. No, my prince, forgive me. Odum turned back to Ebuka. The boy was crying now, silent tears running down his face. This is what happens, Odum said, loud enough for everyone in the temple courtyard to hear. When you forget that some people are born to rule and others are born to kneel. He drove the knife into the boy's chest. Ebuka made a small sound, surprised, hot, confused. His eyes went wide. Blood bloomed across his white clothes like a flower opening. Odum let him drop to the ground. The boy twitched once, twice. Then he was still. Clean this up, Odum told his guards, wiping his knife on the clothes. I am going home. Didn't look back. He never looked back. What Odum didn't know, what he didn't care to know, was that Ebuka's mother was not an ordinary woman. Her name was Mama Nkuruka. In the village, people called her the seer, the whisperer, the woman who knew things before they happened, the woman who could read the bones and talk to spirits. Mama Nkuruka was a small woman, thin and bent with age. She was sweeping her small hut when the vision hit her. She saw her son, saw the knife, saw the blood, saw the prince's face, beautiful and empty as a mask. The broom fell from her hands. By the time she reached the temple, they had already wrapped Ebuka's body in white clothes. The priestesses were weeping. The other servants stood in silence, their faces tight with fear and grief. Mama Nkuruka walked through them like a woman in a dream. She knelt beside her son's body. She pulled back the clothes and saw his face, so young, so peaceful, like he was just sleeping. Ebuka, she whispered, Ebuka. My son, my only son. She had lost her husband to war. She had lost her two daughters to fever. Ebuka was all she had left, and now he was gone. Killed for nothing, for looking, for existing in the wrong place at the wrong time. The priestesses tried to comfort her. Mama Nkuruka, please come away. Let us prepare him for burial. But Mama Nkuruka didn't move. She sat there, holding her son's cold hand as the sun moved across the sky. And inside her chest, something was growing. Not just grief, something darker, older, more dangerous. Rich. 3 days later, Prince Odum was in the palace gardens, drinking palm wine and laughing with his friends. He had already forgotten about the boy. Ebuka's death meant nothing to him. The guard came running.
My prince, there's a woman at the gate. She demands to see you. Then send her away. We tried, my prince, but she won't leave. She says she's Mama Nkiruka, the mother of the boy you killed. Grieving mother wants to yell at me? Fine, bring her. This should be entertaining. Okay, my prince.
They brought her to the garden. Her eyes burned. So, Odum said lazily, you are the mother. Come to beg for money, compensation for your son's unfortunate accident? Accident? Mama Nkuruka's voice was quiet. Too quiet. You put a knife in my son's heart because he looked at you, and you call it an accident? Odum shrugged. He disrespected me. There are consequences for that. Consequences, she repeated. She took a step closer. Yes, let us talk about consequences. One of Odum's friends shifted nervously. My prince, perhaps we should quiet. Odum snapped. He was enjoying this.
Let the old woman speak. What will you do, old woman? Go ahead. I'm a prince. I'm beloved by the gods.
Beloved by the gods? No, child. The gods are tired of you.
She reached into her bag and pulled out a handful of bones. She threw them on the ground. They landed in a pattern that made Odom's guards step back, making protective signs with their hands.
You think you are a man, but you are not. You are a beast wearing a man's skin. You take what you want. You crush the weak. You kill without mercy or thought.
So, that is what it means to be powerful.
No, that is what it means to be a monster.
She raised her hands to the sky. The wind began to blow, hot and dry. The bones on the ground began to rattle.
Since you are already a beast inside, you will become a beast outside. You will wear the skin you have earned.
God, Caesar!
But the guards couldn't move. The wind held them in place like invisible shins. Mama Nkuruka's eyes glowed with an inner light. When she spoke, the earth trembled. You will become the leopard.
You will become the leopard, bloodthirsty and alone. You will hunt in the darkness. You will taste blood and fear.
And you will remain this way for 100 years unless you find a woman with a truly pure heart.
What does that even mean?
A woman who will pass 7 tests of character.
A woman who chooses goodness over power, mercy over revenge, truth over comfort.
A woman who can look at the monster you are and still offer you love.
She leaned in close.
And here is the cruelest part of the curse, Prince Odum. Every woman who fails the tests, every woman who shows greed or cruelty or cowardice, you must kill. Their blood will feed the forest. Their bones will build your prison. You will know always that you are the very thing you hate in yourself, a killer of innocence. But when the 100th year ends, if you are still a beast, you will remain a beast until the world itself ends.
No, you can't.
It is done!
The pain hit Odum like a spear through the chest. He fell to his knees, screaming. His bones began to break and reshape. His skin rippled. His hands curled into claws.
Make it stop! Please! I'm sorry!
My son begged it too. Did you listen?
Odom's screams turned into roars. His body twisted and grew. Black fur erupted from his skin, marked with gold rosettes. His face stretched into a muzzle full of teeth like knives. Within moments, where the beautiful prince had been, there was now a great leopard, massive, powerful, and terrifying. The leopard that was Odum looked at his paws, at his reflection in the garden pool. He tried to speak, but only a growl came out. Panic seized him. He ran out of the garden, out of the palace, past screaming servants and shouting guards. He ran until he reached the area forest, and there, in the darkness between the trees, he felt it, the pull of the curse anchoring him to this place. This was his prison now. That night, Odum lay in the darkness, his new leopard body trembling. He could still think like a man, still remember who he was, but he was trapped in this form. And he would stay trapped unless he could find someone whose heart was the opposite of his own. Someone pure, someone kind, someone willing to love a monster. As the first night wore on, Odum began to understand the full horror of what had been done to him. He would live for 100 years. He would test 99 women, and he would kill them all when they failed. Not because he wanted to, but because the cause demanded it. And in the darkness of Aria forest, the great leopard threw back his head and roared his anguish, the uncaring. 100 years of waiting, 100 years of blood, 100 years to find a heart pure enough to break the cause he had earned with his cruelty. Odum finished telling his story. His eyes grew distant with memory. She gave me 100 years, 100 chances to find a pure heart. When the 100th year ends, if I am still a beast, I will remain a beast until word itself ends. I have tested women. 99 of them have failed. They were greedy, cruel, cowardly, or easily corrupted. I killed them all. His voice broke. I didn't want to, but the cause demanded it. Their blood feeds the forest, keeps my prison strong. He looked at Zara with eyes full of hope and fear. You are the 100th woman. You have passed every test, but there is one more choice. He transformed into the great leopard. To break my curse, you must give me one thing freely, a kiss. But not just any kiss. You must kiss me in this form, fully knowing what I am, a killer, a monster, a creature of blood and darkness. You must accept all of me, without fear or conditions. The leopard sat before her trembling. If you do, the curse breaks. I become human permanently. We rule together. But if you refuse, if you cannot love what I truly am, I remain a beast forever, and you die. The curse will take you as the 100th failure. Zara looked at the leopard, at his golden eyes, full of hope and shame, at his powerful body that had killed so many, at the monster and the man trapped together. She thought of her father, who had been kind but weak, unable to protect her. She thought of Ekene, who was human but monstrous. She thought of how goodness and evil lived in all creatures, sometimes at war with us. You have changed, Zara said softly. You feel guilt. You warned me about the dangers. You could have lied about the cause, but you told me that is not a monster speaking. That is a man trying to be better. She stepped forward and placed her hands on either side of the leopard's massive face. He flinched as if expecting her to strike him. Instead, she kissed him gently on his forehead. I see you, she whispered. All of you, and you are worthy of mercy. Light exploded from where her lips touched him, bold and white and blinding. The leopard roared, a sound of pain and release and joy all mixed together. When the light faded, Odum stood before her, fully human, tears streaming down his face.
Free. After 100 years, I am free. You saved me, not with power or magic, but with the strength of your mercy. Will you truly be my queen? Not because of a curse, but because you choose it?
I choose it.
Back in Umu, Ekene and Chika were celebrating. They were eating Zara's portion of food, drinking palm wine, sure that the girl had been eaten by hyenas or worse.
Finally, that burden is gone. Now, Chika, you can marry Chief Okonko's son. We'll be rich.
Mother, I don't want Chief Okonko's son. He's fat and old. I want someone young and handsome.
Beauty fades, money doesn't.
Suddenly, the ground began to shake. The birds in the trees took flight, screaming. The dogs howled. A great carriage appeared at the edge of the village, pulled by 6 white horses with manes like silver waterfalls. The entire village came out to stare. The carriage door opened. Zara stepped out. She was dripping in gold. Her hair was braided with pearls and precious stones. Her dress was made of silk so fine it looked like liquid milk. Her skin glowed with health and happiness. She looked like a goddess descended from the sky. Behind her walked King Odum, tall and regal, his presence so powerful that the village elders felt it in their nose without thinking. Ekene's mouth dropped open, then it snapped shut. Her eyes glittered with greed.
My daughter, I knew you would find him. I knew the ancestors would guide you. Oh, how I prayed for your safety every night.
But she wasn't looking at Zara. She was looking at the gold, at the joys, at the fine clothes and the powerful king.
You sent me to die. No, I sent you to your destiny. A mother knows these things. I knew you would find greatness.
You are the one who sent a child into the forest of death with a smile on your face.
If that skinny girl can get a king, then my beautiful Chika, my precious daughter, will get an emperor.
Mother, I don't want to go into the forest.
Nonsense. You are going tonight. And you will come back with even more riches than this one.
Then good luck to your daughter.
Zara tried to speak, to warn them, but Odum gently touched her arm and shook his head. Some lessons, his eyes said, must be learned the hard way. That night, Ekene dressed Chika in the finest clothes she owned, stolen from Zara's dead mother's trunk. She painted Chika's face with red clay and palm oil to make her shine.
Remember, don't talk to any small spirits. Only talk to the ones with the biggest gold. Demand 2 carriages, not 1. Demand 3 bags of diamonds, not just jewelry.
But Mother, I'm scared. The forest is dark.
Scared? Of what? Getting rich?
Ekene shoved her daughter toward the forest path.
Go! And don't come back until you're swimming in gold.
Chika walked into the forest. Unlike Zara, she didn't walk with fear or respect. She stomped. She kicked at mushrooms. She cursed the thorns that caught her dress.
Stupid forest! I am Chika, the most beautiful girl in Umu. I should be carried through here on a platform.
The whispers started.
Rude girl, loud girl, her blood will taste bitter.
Chika ignored them. She wasn't afraid of spirits. Her mother had told her she was special. She reached the clearing. King Odum was waiting in his human form, sitting on his throne of vines.
You must be the king with the gold. My mother says I'm much better than Zara. I am prettier, smarter, and I deserve more. I want 2 carriages and 3 bags of diamonds.
Is that all you want? Gold?
Of course. Why else would I come to this stinking, dirty forest? Also, I want a palace made of pure gold. Not whatever cheap material you gave that other girl. And I want servants, at least 50 of them. And
Stop.
And I want dresses made by the best tailors, and I want to eat roasted chicken every day. And
I said stop! The gold I keep is kept by my mother. She is the one who guards the treasure. She is very hungry for guests, especially rude ones. Come, I will take you to her.
Your mother! Good! I'll tell her exactly what I deserve.
Ekene, unable to trust Chika to bring back all the wishes without her supervision, had followed her into the forest. She hid in the bushes, watching and listening. When she heard about Odum's mother and her treasure, greed burned away all common sense.
Wait for me. I am the one who sent her. I am the one who gave you Zara first. I deserve the biggest share of treasure.
You, the one who sends children into the dark to die. The one who would sell her own soul for a handful of gold coins.
I just wanted a good life for my daughter.
Liar! You wanted a good life for yourself and you didn't care who you destroyed to get it. You beat a motherless child. You starved her. You walked her until her hands bled. You then tried to feed her to the forest. Well, the forest is hungry. And it's hungry for you.
In an instant, the handsome king was gone. In his place stood a leopard the size of a hut. He let out a roar that shook the trees and blew the head tie right off Ekene's head. Bird exploded from the branches in a panic of wings. The earth itself seemed to tremble. Chika screamed. She turned and ran, tripping over, her stolen fine clothes catching on every branch. The forest seemed to grab at her, thorns tearing her clothes, vines wrapping around her ankles. But the leopard didn't chase her. He was looking at the source of the evil. Ekene tried to run too, but her legs wouldn't move. Fear had frozen her in place.
Please, I have money. I can pay you. I'll give you anything.
You cannot buy your way out of this. You sent an innocent girl to be eaten, and now the forest is hungry for justice.
It was just one girl. She was nobody, just a servant. She didn't matter.
She mattered to her father, she mattered to me. And because of her pure heart, I am free. Can you say the same? If you died right now, who would speak well of your name?
Ekene opened her mouth, but no words came out because she knew the truth. Even Chika, her own daughter, would probably celebrate her death if it meant getting the inheritance.
I could change. I could be better.
You had years to change and you made your choice.
Ekene saw her death in his eyes. He opened her mouth to scream. The scream was cut short, the terrible final snap. The next morning, the village of Umu woke to find something strange at Ekene's doorstep. Chika was there, curled up like a child, her clothes in tatters. Her eyes were wide and empty, staring at nothing. She was whispering the same thing over and over. Eyes in the leaves, eyes in the leaves, watching, always watching. He never spoke another coherent word for the rest of her life. Ekene was never found. Some people said they heard screams from the forest that night. Others said they saw something being dragged into the darkness. But no one went looking for her. And Zara and King Odum were gone. The palace in the forest had vanished like morning mist. But sometimes, on quiet nights, villagers reported seeing lights deep in her area. Forest's golden lights that moved like dancers. Some said Zara lived there still, a queen of the spirits, beloved by the forest she had entered with courage and left with love. The villager elders took Chika in and cared for her, feeding her and keeping her safe, even though she couldn't care for herself. It was what Zara would have wanted, mercy, even for those who showed her none. And to this day, the mothers of Umu tell their children, be kind to the orphans and the strangers. Be kind to those who cannot repay you, for you never know if the leopard is watching, waiting to see what kind of heart you are bringing into his woods. The end. In the forest, gold and diamonds mean nothing, but a kind heart, that is a treasure that even death cannot steal.